breakthrough musician. Paige is back with a new track titled I Will Cry No More. The song just went viral on social media when she sang a Zulu version of Makazi's Ganama in 2021. In the same year, she made a music debut with her album Nyazifela Ngawe, and Paige obtained her law degree as well last year. So she joins us now in the studio to tell us more about her musical journey. And thank you so much for joining us. A very good morning to you, Paige.
Good morning, Sister Paige.
Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about your musical journey in itself. You know, so you have these like millions of views on YouTube, and I think once you've hit the viral side of life, it's almost the anticipation of what next, what next, what next. And I always say that it takes you about 30 years to build that one moment of absolute fame. How has your musical journey been so far?
So far, it has been great, though there are a lot of challenges that I'm facing currently. But I won't really complain. So I'm still trying to push. I'm pushing very hard.
Yeah.
So,
and when it comes to some of those challenges, and I always call them naiveties, you know, so a lot of times when we get into the music business, or any business for that matter, there's a certain kind of perspective that you have when you're on the outside, as opposed to when you're on the inside, right? Life is very different when you're on the inside. So let's talk about some of those lessons learned for you from your side.
I mean, when I was an upcoming artist, I didn't really know what's happening in the music industry. So I've always been passionate about music. And when I finally got my breakthrough in 2021, it was like, wow, it's a miracle for me, because I have been praying about this for a very, very long time to enter the music industry. But now that I'm in the music industry, like now I get to see a lot of things. I get to learn a lot of things, like, for instance, contracts, how contracts work. It's just, you know, a whole lot of things. So, sure, it's not easy.
There's the music, which is the creative part, and then there's the business of music. And how, do you think that artists are well equipped before they go into this music business to know that there's actually music where you do the creative process, and then there's the business of music where you have to take care of contractual negotiations, know if your music is going to be independent, know who owns the copyright, know who owns the actual intellectual property of your music. Do you think that we get to equip artists with that kind of knowledge?
I think if we can do that, if artists can learn about those things, I think it's very important for an artist to know what a contract is, what it has inside, because some of us, we enter into contracts not knowing what we're signing up for. So if we can have like your, workshop where explaining like the artist, this is what contracts, how they are inside, you need to understand what do they mean, this and that. So I think if we can do workshops for artists, it would be great, especially upcoming artists.
Yeah, because otherwise you tie yourself up into something that lasts 5 years.
My sister. I don't want to talk about that one. Yeah,
but then it's good to talk about it, and simply because I think the veil and the facade of any form of industry needs to be lifted so people know exactly what they're prepared for. I'm thinking about other upcoming artists, especially young women, right? Especially young women who get into this business with absolute naivety, absolute not knowing what they're going to get. And then they tie themselves up into these contracts and then they can't get out of it. And before you know it, they are the has-been. They could talk about them in the past tense, right? So how important, especially for women, do young women, are they given protection in this industry, or are they left to the sharks?
I just feel like we're not given enough protection. I'm speaking on behalf of myself as well. Like I'm one of the artists that have been ripped off. Well, I can't get into details. So women, so far, I feel like we're not being protected enough. These record labels, they're really, really unfair, especially towards women. I don't know what's happening, but the record label that I was in, I can't talk about it now. But yeah, it's very emotional.
Yeah, it is. I can really see the pain.
You can see.
Yeah, it becomes very painful.
Yeah, but today I'm strong.
And talk to us a little bit about this upcoming album of yours. I think it's going to be released in August, called I'll Cry No More.
I Will Cry No More.
Yeah.
So this album, the reason why I'm going to be releasing it, I just want to give people, hope. Because I believe that my music gives a lot of young people, not just young in actual sense, people, hope, faith. Do you understand what I mean? So me saying I will cry no more, I'm actually talking about myself as well, and telling people out there that don't be stuck in a situation. You can get yourself out of it. Stand up, because as I said, I am one of the artists that has been ripped off by a record label. So being here, it's really a big opportunity for me. So I will cry no more, and I want to encourage them to say, don't cry anymore. Stand up and arise.
Yeah, and it's not as easy to stand up for yourself, is it? Because when you stand up for yourself, you get seen as the bully, or you get seen as the difficult one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mara, no. Now it's about time that women need to arise. We need to arise as women. We need to take charge. It's about time.
Well, Paige, I know that we're anticipating a great performance by you, and I know that we're going to be performing one of the songs that's going to be released in August. You do not want to miss that performance that is coming through from Paige. And of course, her album, you can actually have a gander at it. It's, you can expect it in August. I think the 18th of August is when the album is supposed to be released. But of course, she'll be back a little bit later on, also preparing to perform for us. So do stay with us here on the South African Morning, the weekend edition.